That's exactly what this author did in the last book, too.
6 News at 5 starts now. Hi, everybody. Welcome in. Glad you're here. All right.
Check 1, 2, 3. Test, test, test. My hairs are falling out. Check, check, check. Check 1, check 2.
Expect more. This is 6 News at 5.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight for this special edition of 6 News at 5.
Yeah.
I'm Leslie Draffin.
Glad to be with you, Leslie. Good to see you back here in studio as well. Hi, everyone. I'm Chris Radcliffe, and we will be limiting commercials today to answer as many of your questions as we can about COVID-19, the vaccines, and the entire vaccination process. Now, we'll be talking to representatives from Bell and McLennan counties, health districts, and they'll take us step by step through the process of signing up for the vaccine and other valuable information to help get you through this pandemic.
We'll also be speaking with registered nurse Christopher M. Brown, who has been fully vaccinated. He'll answer your questions about what to expect when you get the shot. And you can still text us your questions to 254-859-5481. You can also send us to those on social media, and we may be able to get some of those answered live on air.
So let's begin with a look at vaccine distribution in our area, and we're trying to explain this as easy as we can. So let's go ahead and take a look. In the gray area, those are counties where less than 7% of the qualified population has been vaccinated thus far. Now in the blue, That's the 7 to 9% of that qualified population that's been vaccinated. The goal, go in green here. And the green, it's more than 9% of the population that's now been vaccinated. Meanwhile, up in McLennan County, almost 21,000 people have received the first vaccination dose, and nearly 5,000 have been fully vaccinated. And in Bell County, our largest county in our viewing area, over 21,000 people have had that first vaccination, and more than 8,000 people have now been fully vaccinated.
And Bell County serves as one of 28 COVID-19 vaccination hubs across Texas. So joining me now is Bell County Judge David Blackburn. Judge Blackburn, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
So let's begin with the main thing, signing up. How do you get on the wait list to get the vaccine?
Very easy to get on the wait list if you'll just go to our website, which is bellcountyhealth.org. Scroll down just a little bit on the page and you'll find a link to sign up for the wait list. And that's all there is to it.
All right. Well, you guys did have a phone number for residents to call. It got taken down. What is the progress on getting a phone line set up again?
We're working on phone systems. The challenge we had with the phone system was the first day, the first hour that we began taking the phone calls, made that active. It literally crashed the system because of the number of phone calls coming in. So we've been working on other solutions. We don't have those completely identified yet, but we're going to continue to work it.
So today I spoke with 95-year-old Bell County resident Cora May. She needs the vaccine before she has a surgery and she doesn't know what to do. So she's 95 years old. And I want to know what you're doing to reach out to people like Cora May who are in that older group. Maybe they're 75 years and up. Maybe they don't have internet access, don't know how to use the internet. What are you doing to reach them?
Yeah, the folks that don't have access to the internet are a particular challenge for us and for really all of us across the state of Texas. But again, we're working that issue also. The phone system or a phone process is important in that regard. We're also looking at ways where we can make access available through other means such as libraries or emergency management offices or other resources that we could bring to bear. That would allow someone to call in, perhaps, enter their information or give that information over the phone to someone, and then they could enter that and make the appointment for them. But the internet access is an issue not just for our elderly population or some components of that, but also for those in the rural areas who don't have access to broadband services. So that's a challenge for all of us. We're going to keep working on that too, but I think it is also tied to the phone system.
Right, and I hear you saying that you know it's a challenge, and I'm sure you guys saw that coming. What kind of time frame are we looking at to get this dealt with, because that is the population that is at most risk?
It is. Well, and another avenue that we're working with, we're in conversations right now with our major healthcare providers in the county, which are Baylor Scott & White, Advent, and Seton. When you take collectively all three of those major healthcare providers, they have patient files and access to a significant portion of Bell County population, and including that portion of the population that is high risk for hospitalization, because that's where these individuals seek their health care. They have some very targeted and some very strategic ways that they can reach out to those folks also. So we're talking to them also about how we can reach those folks through those healthcare providers.
And I'm glad you mentioned that. It was my next question. Why is Scott & White and Temple not currently vaccinating the public like we've seen in some other counties?
Yeah, I think it's just simply a matter of allocation. We've talked about it before, but supply is limited. Baylor Scott & White and Temple was not designated as a hub, and the state has not yet reopened that process of designating new hubs. But when they do, which will be associated with the supply, I would anticipate that serious consideration will be given to Baylor Scott & White here in Temple.
And somebody asked that they said they need to get their second dose of the vaccine. When will they be contacted to set that up?
You make an appointment. We have a second dose site that's dedicated for second doses. It's at the Expo Center in Belton. There's a process you go through again online to make that appointment, or you can make that appointment. We have folks at the vaccine centers, both in Killeen and Temple, that have also been assisting folks while they're in the observation area or waiting that mandatory 15 minutes before they can leave, helping folks set their second appointment up at that time.
And so back to the wait list on bellcountyhealth.org. If someone were to go on listening to this newscast right now and try to get on that wait list, do you know how long they'd have to wait before they could get an appointment?
Unfortunately, I can't give an estimate on that. There are several thousand people on the wait list right now, and but at the same time, I don't want to discourage anyone from not getting on the wait list. It's a separate avenue or pathway to pursue to getting your vaccination. We go through the wait list every single day at both vaccine centers, at both first dose vaccine center sites, and literally make hundreds of calls off of that wait list every single day because of no-shows or cancellations that have occurred, primarily because folks have gotten their vaccination someplace else, and so that opens up a spot. And when that occurs, we go to that wait list and start making calls. So don't be discouraged about the number of people on the wait list. We're working our way through that.
And the only way to get a dose of this from Bell County right now is to go to that website and get on the wait list.
Well, there's two ways to get a vaccination in Bell County. One way is to book, again, go to the website, bellcountyhealth.org, book your appointment when those open up, and we will be opening that appointment booking process up tonight, just after midnight, for the next 5 days worth of appointments, and then we'll open it up again the following week and the following week. So we're going to keep doing that in the hopes that we can maximize the number of people we can vaccinate each week. But that's one way to get your appointment, is to book it when that link is active and open. And then the second way is to get on the wait list. And those are two different links to click on. But if you click on those links and then enter your information, you're on both a booking appointment, if that's available, and if not, on the wait list.
All right, Judge Blackburn, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you.
And don't forget, all of this information will be on our website after today's show at kcentv.com. It'll be on our YouTube channel as well, and you can also continue to text the word vaccine to that number on your screen to stay up to date on all the latest vaccine information in your area. Well, still to come on this special edition of 6 News at 5, we answered as many questions as we could about the vaccine and sign up in Bell County, and now it's time to head over to McLennan County.
Yeah, after the break, Kelly Crane with the Waco-McLennan County Health District will join us. She'll be answering questions about signing up in the Waco area and even addressing any concerns that you may have about vaccine distribution. Please stay with us. Are you there? Hello?
Hello, here I am.
Wonderful. We're just about to go on the air, so stand by.
Okay.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to this very special edition of 6 News at 5 with very limited commercials. That was a quick pause right there. Today, we're focusing on your questions when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine. Now, before the break, we talked to Judge David Blackburn with the Bell County Health District. Let's head north to McLennan County now and talk to Kelly Crane with the county's health department. She's joining us now. Hi, Kelly. Thanks for your time again for this very important subject.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing this.
All right, thanks for being here. Let's get right to the main question. For a lot of people, they call us, they continue to want to know, how do they get signed up to get this vaccine? If we were playing Monopoly, what is GO?
First, you need to go to the Waco-McLennan County COVIDwaco.com site, and you can get on our waiting list. Right now, we have such a high demand. We do have a waiting list. we use that to contact people and schedule their vaccine appointments, whether it's their first dose or their second dose. We'll call them back and schedule for that. But if you're looking for that first dose, get on our wait list.
Okay. Now, what are you doing to reach those who cannot get to your website, especially those of our, more seasoned citizens, as I like to call them, maybe 75 and up, and just aren't too internet savvy?
Absolutely. That's a very good question. And that is our main demographic. So we do have a call line for people who want to register on just by phone, and they can call us at 254-750-1890. Call in and we'll put you on that wait list. Also, if you have someone in your life, whether it's a family member, just a friend, a church member, help them, work with them to get them signed up so that they'll know that they've got a point on the wait list. So if you have a family member that needs assistance in any situation, please help them, reach out to them and see if you can help them get on the wait list.
And I know by adding that phone number, you've really convenienced a lot of people in our viewing area, especially those older citizens. Okay, since we talked to you last week, I'm going to give you this follow-up question again. How will 1C be distributed? Do we know when, where, and how yet?
Here at the Health District, we have not received any information on that from the Department of State Health Services. As the state, they will make that determination for us. So we're waiting to hear about 1C. We still have plenty of 1A and 1B folks that we need to get vaccinated. So I'm not sure when that will happen. When it does, we'll be ready to go.
Okay, understood. A viewer question here. I need to get my second dose of the vaccine. When will the people in charge reach out to me to set that up, or do the people need to be proactive?
Absolutely. That's a really great question. This is our first week of offering second doses in our vaccination hub. So that's about 1,500 people. We're going to personally reach out to you through email and phone to schedule your appointment for this week. We have about 1,500 people that are starting to need their second dose this week. So answer the call if you get a 750 phone number, or check your emails to make sure it's not getting lost or you miss it. Sometimes that happens. We get so many emails, but we're going to be personally reaching out to you to get that second dose.
Excellent. Okay, here's another one that's maybe more particular, but I turned 65 in July. Can I sign up now?
There is a possibility. It really depends on your personal situation. I mean, that is a very good question. 1B category includes people that are younger than 65 if they have underlying conditions. So if you have underlying conditions, whatever your age, we don't want to stop anyone from signing up in that situation. Speak with your physician and find out if that's something that's okay for you to get now. Find out, start there first. And of course, when you sign up, we'll be happy to take care of you.
Okay, and Kelly, people are willing to drive to get this vaccine. One of our viewers asked, if I signed up to get the vaccine in Bell County, but the waiting list is just too long, could I get the shot quicker in McLennan County?
Well, that really depends. I would tell you, Bell County's done a great job of getting their vaccine out, and we've tried to do the same. There's nothing wrong with being on the list. Because we are state designated hubs, we serve everyone, not just McLennan County residents. So we have taken people from as far as San Antonio and Dallas. If you want to drive, if you want to get on that wait list, get on both wait lists. We will be happy to take you.
And Kelly, we're almost out of time, so I'll just ask for a brief answer here. Some of our viewers asked, why can't they just keep the clinics open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to administer these vaccines? I would imagine it just has something to do with staffing.
Staffing is the case, but also vaccine doses. We received 1,500 doses this week for our first dosers. That really, we can't staff 7 days a week with that amount of vaccine. It's going to take more vaccine to do that.
Yeah, we wish we had it. Thank you so much, Kelly Crane, for your time today and for visiting with us. I know it makes a big difference, and you answering all of these questions honestly and straight on, it really makes a difference to our viewers. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. And a reminder, everybody, that every Monday this month, we've talked to Kelly 2 weeks in a row now, 6 News is teaming up with the local health districts to get your vaccine questions answered as best we can. Representatives from McLennan and Bell County will answer those questions about getting the vaccine. We'll also have a health expert to answer questions about effects of the shots. That's still on the way here for this Monday. There's still plenty of time to get your questions answered today because we're not done. Text us what you'd like to know to 254-859-5481. You can also send us those questions on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we visit live with a health expert. That is coming up next.
Welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us again for this special edition of 6 News at 5, all about the coronavirus vaccine. Joining me now is registered nurse Christopher M. Brown. Mr. Brown, thank you so much for being here with me.
Good evening. Glad to be here.
So first things first, can you talk about the difference between the Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson vaccines?
Yes. So the Pfizer and the Pfizer and the Moderna vaccine are both mRNA vaccines that speaks to how it's delivered into your body. They essentially use a new technology. The technology's been around for 10 or 20 years, used for cancer, but it's new, used in vaccines. And it essentially uses messenger RNAs to deliver a set of instructions to your body so it can teach it how to develop an immunity to the COVID vaccine. The Johnson & Johnson uses a virus to piggyback the instructions onto. That's a little bit older technology. Now, the Pfizer, the first dose is about 52% effective. The second dose is 95% effective. Moderna, the first dose is 80% effective. The second dose is 95% effective. And with Johnson & Johnson, which I don't believe is approved for the United States yet, is boasting a 80 to 85% effectiveness with just one dose.
Okay. Wow. And so when we talk about those two shots, what's the difference between the shots? Are you getting the exact same substance 2 times, or is there actually something different in each of those shots when we talk about the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines?
Yeah, the first and second dose are the same thing.
Okay.
What it is, your body gets the set of instructions. Look at it as your body goes to class. I give you some instructions, you learn how to do something. Then you get the second dose. It's to test you to see how well you got those instructions, to make sure you really understand what's going on. And then when you get exposed to the virus, it's like your body is taking a pop quiz.
Love that explanation. All right. Some people are experiencing some symptoms after getting that second dose. So what's your advice to people who might be shying away from getting the second shot?
Well, don't be surprised if you do get a reaction. So the first time, your body's probably never dealt with something like this before, so it's learning. You might not get a reaction at all. Then the second time when you get the vaccine, the second dose of the vaccine, your body recognizes that substance, has instructions previously on how to fight it, and now your body is reacting to it as if it was actually exposed to the real virus. This is an immune response, and it's an indication that your body is actually doing what it's supposed to do. So if you have mild symptoms like headache, fever, muscle aches, acetaminophen, ibuprofen will help take care of that. If you have worse symptoms like respiratory or a severe rash, you might be having a rare allergic reaction, and you should seek medical attention for that.
All right. Mr. Brown, we will be back with you in just a couple of minutes. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and I'll see you on the other side. We'll be right back.
All right.
right, I am back with registered nurse Christopher M. Brown. Thank you so much for joining us for this special edition of the 6 News at 5. So we're talking about the vaccine, and right before this break, you mentioned that taking something like Tylenol or acetaminophen could help if you are seeing some symptoms after getting the second dose. But what about taking that before you get that vaccine?
Well, I can tell you that myself and many of my peers, before we get vaccines, we have to get flu vaccine every year just because we're nurses and we work in the hospital. We quite frequently take ibuprofen or acetamin prior to or just after to help abate some of the symptoms.
Okay, great. So if you're doing it, might be a good idea for folks getting the dose as well. If you have the virus, but you don't know it, and you go get the vaccine, what effect might that have on someone?
So if you have the virus, so you can be exposed to the virus just before you get the vaccine or just after, before you develop antibodies. If that happens, then once the symptoms have abated, once you finish the isolation and quarantine protocols, then you can start back up with it's recommended that you start back up with the virus and go to the second dose. Now, as far as what could happen to you if you have the second dose, the first dose while you're positive, I don't think there's any studies that really show if there's a problem, but I can tell you that one of my peers received the vaccine day 1. Day 2, she tested positive. She went through the course of the symptoms, finished isolation, and she picked back up with the second dose with little to no issue. And
can you get COVID twice?
Yes, there has been incidences where people have gotten COVID twice. Your antibodies might not have been strong enough to resist it the next time around. The studies have shown that some people don't maintain immunity to it just from exposure to the virus, so they wind up getting it again. Wow. So yes, you can get it twice.
Okay. And here are just some sort of specific viewer questions. Someone asked, I've got COPD. Is it safe for me to get the COVID shot?
Okay, so people with COPD, hypertension, insulin-dependent diabetes, any other cancer, any other comorbidities, you are at a higher risk for serious problems from certain vaccine-preventable diseases. So getting the vaccine or any other vaccine is always important in staying healthy. So if you have lung disease especially, it's a good idea to get vaccinated, but consult with your provider to make sure that your vaccinations are up to date.
And you actually sort of answered these other two questions, but I will say them anyway. From Deborah Samuels, how does the vaccine affect somebody who might be obese, 64, with diabetes, kidney disease, and heart problems?
The same. It is strongly recommended that anybody with comorbidities, any health issues, matter of fact, those individuals have been moved up to the top of the list based on age and comorbidities. They're in 1A and 1B, and it's strongly advised that they get the vaccine.
And then folks who have diabetes or take insulin, safe to get the COVID shot?
Yes.
All right. And then finally, you sort of mentioned before you can get COVID twice. So if you have had it once and you recovered, should you still get the vaccine?
It has been recommended that you still get the vaccine because just becoming ill from the virus is not offering a long-term vaccination from the disease versus actually getting the vaccine.
And is there anything else that you want to share with us that I haven't asked you? We have a little bit more time, and I've kind of run out of questions for you. Anything else you want to add?
Well, I had the vaccine a month ago. I've had 0 issues. I have a couple of peers who've had some reaction, but it seems to be common reactions with the Moderna versus the Pfizer. So as a healthcare professional, I always recommend that you consult with your personal physician to make sure it's right for you. But for me and my family, I do strongly recommend getting the COVID vaccine.
All right. Mr. Brown, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us again on one of these Mondays. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
And let's recap a little bit from what we learned today. We've learned a lot over the last half hour, Leslie. We did find out that if you live in McLennan County, you can call the hotline 254-750-1890. Again, 254-750-1890 to make an attempt to book and schedule that shot, or they'll get you right on the list and then get back to you when it is time for you to go in.
Right. They're calling that a call line or a helpline for those folks specifically who might not be tech savvy and need some help getting on the internet. Bell County, unfortunately, does not have anything set up like that, although they do tell us they're working on it. And it looks like there are numbers for both Coryell and Milam County as well. As far as Bell County folks go, we've had people call the station. BellCountyHealth.org seems to be the only way that you can get on that wait list. Booking appointments do seem to open up towards the beginning of the weeks. So we will continue getting you answers on this, and unfortunately it doesn't feel like there's really any set time frame on when Bell County will get that phone line open, because I know there are people who are 75 plus, 65 plus, rural areas with no internet. They need that. Yeah, and we know we'd be going 24/7 on these vaccinations if we had them, Leslie, but apparently right now that's the challenge, is continuing to get vaccinations to McLennan County and Bell County as our two biggest counties. Okay, thanks again everybody for watching this edition of 6 News at 5. Again, another look at the websites and numbers as we say goodnight that you can get used to sign on to get the COVID vaccine if you qualify. And every Monday this month, we are teaming up with local health districts to get these vaccine questions answered. So send those in to us. The number at the bottom of your screen. We appreciate you tuning in for this special edition of the 6 News at 5.
Yes, NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt is coming up next. We'll see you right back here for a regular newscast at 6 p.m.